The county of Tyrol is a historical region in what is now Austria and Italy from 1140 up to 1919. Originally a jurisdiction under the sovereignty of a count, it was a princely county, from 1504 a state of the Holy Roman Empire, from 1814 a province of the Austrian Empire, and from 1867 a Cisleithanian crown land of Austria-Hungary. Today its territory is divided between the Italian region of Trentino Alto Adige, Sud Tyrol, a small part of the Italian region of Veneto, and the Austrian state of Tyrol. Both regions are today associated again in the Tyrol-South Tyrol-Trentino Euro-region. History. Birth of Tyrol. In 1027 Holy Roman Emperor Conrad II split off the bishopric of Trent from the former Lombard Kingdom of Italy. He attached it to the stem Duchy of Bavaria, which was then under the rule of his son Henry III. From the 12th century on, the counts, residing in Castle Tyrol near Murano, held the office of vote in the Trent diocese and also in the bishopric of Brixen. They extended their territory over much of the region and came to surpass the power of the bishops, who were nominally their feudal lords. After the deposition of Henry X the Proud as Bavarian Duke in 1138, the Counts of Tyrol strengthened their independence from Bavaria under his son Henry the Lion. When the House of Welf was again entwined with the Bavarian Duchy by Emperor Frederick Barbarossa at the 1154 Reichstag of Goslar, her possessions no longer comprised the Tyrolean lands. The counts maintained that independence under the rising Bavarian Wittelsbach dynasty. When their sons divided their estate in 1271, the elder Meinhard II took Tyrol, for which he was recognized as an immediate lordship. He supported the German King Rudolf of Habsburg against his rival King Ottokar II of Bohemia. In reward, he received the Duchy of Carinthia with the Carniolan March in 1286. In 1307 Meinhard's son Henry was elected King of Bohemia. After his death, he had one surviving daughter, Margaret Moltasch, who could gain the rule only over Tyrol. In 1342 she married Louis V of Wittelsbach, then Margrave of Brandenburg. The red eagle in Tyrol's coat of arms may derive from the Brandenburg eagle at the time when she and her husband ruled Tyrol and Brandenburg in personal union, though the Tyrolean eagle had already appeared in the 13th century. Louis V died in 1361, followed by Margaret's son Meinhard III 2 years later. Lacking any descendants to succeed her, she bequeathed the county to Rudolf IV of Habsburg, Duke of Austria, in 1363. He was recognized by the House of Wittelsbach in 1369. From that time onward, Tyrol was ruled by various lines of the Austrian Habsburg dynasty, who held the title of Count. Austria after the Habsburg hereditary lands had been divided by the 1379 Treaty of Neuburg. Tyrol was ruled by the descendants of Duke Leopold III of Austria. After a second division within the Leopoldinian line in 1406, Duke Frederick IV of the Empty Pockets ruled them. In 1420 he made Innsbruck the Tyrolean residence. In 1490 his son and heir Sigismund renounced Tyrol and further Austria in favour of his cousin German King Maximilian I of Habsburg. By then Maximilian I had reunited all Habsburg lands under his rule. In 1500 he also acquired the remaining Gorizia territories around Lienz and the Puster Valley. When Emperor Ferdinand I of Habsburg died in 1564, he bequeathed the rule over Tyrol and further Austria to his second son Archduke Ferdinand II. Both territories thereafter fell to the younger sons of the Habsburg emperors, Archduke Matthias in 1608 and Maximilian III in 1612. After the death of Archduke Sigismund Francis in 1665, all Habsburg lands were again under the united rule of the Emperor Leopold I. From the time of Maria Theresa of Austria onward, Tyrol was governed by a central government of the Habsburg monarchy at Vienna in all matters of major importance. In 1803 the lands of the bishoprics of Trent and Brixen were secularized and incorporated into the county. Napoleonic Wars. Following defeat by Napoleon in 1805, Austria was forced to cede Tyrol to the Kingdom of Bavaria in the Peace of Pressburg. Tyrol as a part of Bavaria became a member of the Confederation of the Rhine in 1806. The Tyroleans rose up against the Bavarian authority and succeeded 3 times in defeating Bavarian and French troops trying to retake the country. Austria lost the War of the Fifth Coalition against France, and got harsh terms in the Treaty of Schönbrunn in 1809. Glorified as Tyrol's national hero, Andreas Hofer, the leader of the uprising, was executed in 1810 in Mantua. His forces had lost a third and final battle against the French and Bavarian forces. Tyrol remained under Bavaria and the Napoleonic Kingdom of Italy for another 4 years. In 1814, by decisions of the Congress of Vienna, Tyrol was reunified and returned to Austria. It was integrated into the Austrian Empire. From 1867 onwards, it was a Kronland of Cisleithania. End of the county. After World War I, the victors settled border changes. The Treaty of Saint-Germain of 1919 ruled, according to the 1915 London Pact, that the southern part of the Austrian Crown land of Tyrol had to be ceded to the Kingdom of Italy, including the territory of the former Trent bishopric, roughly corresponding to the modern-day Trentino, as well as the south of the medieval Tyrol county, the present-day province of South Tyrol. Italy thus took control of the strategically important Alpine water divide at the Brenner Pass and over the south of Tyrol proper with its large, German-speaking majority. Since 1949 both parts form the autonomous Italian Trentino Alto Adige/Sud Tyrol region. The northern part of Tyrol, retained by the First Austrian Republic, today forms the Austrian state of Tyrol with its East Tyrol exclave. In 1945, following World War II, Austrian attempts and South Tyrolean petitions to reunite German-speaking South Tyrol with Austria were not successful. Italy kept control. From 1972 onwards, the Italian Republic has granted further autonomy to the Alto Adige/Sud Tyrol province. Counts of Tyrol. Albert I -1078. Albert II 1055 to 1101. Albert III 1101 to 1165. Berthold I 1165 to 1180. Berthold II 1180 to 1181. Henry I 1180 to 1202. Albert IV 1202 to 1253. Son. Male line extinct. House of Meinharden county bequeathed to Albert's son-in-law, Meinhard I 1253 to 1258, also Count of Gorizia since 1231. Meinhard II 1258 to 1295, also Count of Gorizia until 1271, Duke of Carinthia and Margrave of Carniola from 1286. Jointly with his brother Albert 1258 to 1271, also Count of Gorizia until 1304. Henry II 1295 to 1335, son of Meinhard II, also Duke of Carinthia, King of Bohemia of 1306 and 1307 to 1310, jointly with his brothers Albert until 1292, Louis until 1305, Otto until 1310. Male line extinct. Countess Margaret, daughter of Henry II, married to John Henry of Luxembourg 1335 to 1341. Divorced. Secondly to Louis of Wittelsbach 1341 to 1361, also Margrave of Brandenburg 1323 to 1351, Duke of Bavaria from 1347, succeeded by Meinhard III 1361 to 1363, son. Line extinct. House of Habsburg county bequeathed to Rudolf IV of Habsburg 1363 to 1365, also Duke of Austria, Styria and Carinthia since 1358. Duke of Carniola from 1364. Leopold I 1365 to 1386, brother, also Duke of Austria until 1379, Duke of Styria, Carinthia and Carniola, jointly with his brother Albert IV until 1379, sole Duke of Austria from 1379. William 1386 to 1406, son of Leopold I, also ruler of Inner Austria, jointly with his brother Leopold II 1396 to 1406. Regent of Tyrol and Further Austria, Regent of Austria from 1406. Frederick of the Empty Pockets 1406 to 1439, brother, also Regent of Further Austria since 1402. Sigismund 1439 to 1490, son, also ruler of Further Austria, deposed. Line extinct. Habsburg lands reunified under Maximilian I 1490 to 1519, King of Germany since 1486, Archduke of Austria from 1493, Holy Roman Emperor from 1508. Habsburg regents of Tyrol and Further Austria. Ferdinand II 1564 to 1595, second son of Emperor Ferdinand I. Maximilian III 1612 to 1618, son. Leopold V 1619 to 1632, younger brother of Emperor Ferdinand II. Ferdinand Charles 1632 to 1662, son, with his mother Claudia de' Medici 1632 to 1646, as regent. Sigismund Francis 1663 to 1665, brother. Line extinct. Habsburg lands reunified under Leopold I 1665 to 1705, Holy Roman Emperor since 1658.